All right,
All
let's
right.
do it.
So, welcome, and hello, everybody, to another exciting episode of Drama School Diaries. I'm really excited that you guys are all here with me. Not just out there, but also here in this room. It's me, Kenny Ritchie, and I'm joined with my lovely co-host, Maravik Giwara.
Hello, everybody. Yes, you did, Maravik. Yes.
I guess I could let you introduce yourself. Sorry. So today we have another really exciting guest for me and Maravik because we know him very well. We also had the opportunity to go to high school with him. But you know what? I'm going to let him introduce himself. So, dear lovely guest, would you please state your name and where did you train?
Hello, my name is Daniel Sukara. I trained at the Los Angeles County High School for the Arts in the theater department.
Nice.
Yay!
Yes, that's right, folks. He went to high school with me and Maravik. You may have guessed it by now.
Yes, class of... That's the...
You're better at this. Last time we did this, Maravik just went straight in with our ages. And she was doing the math. Class of such as... I was like, girl.
I'm like, I tend to work with people who I'm like, are like maybe half my age. So I'm just kind of getting to the point of like, all right, well, let me give you some pointers on how life is. Like, let me just tell you what's going on.
It's finally coming to that point.
But whatever.
Yeah, sorry to step on you there.
No.
I just feel like it is finally coming to that point where we're getting old enough that we can actually maybe offer some advice.
Yeah, and then don't really care really. I mean, like I'm my best way to put it is I'm at my I could wear sweatpants to the mall kind of a stage, you know, where just
I still have that stage.
I couldn't back when I was in high school. The thought of that scared the hell out of me. So now I'm just kind of like, oh, well, whatever.
You weren't that guy that went to Walmart at like 2 a.m. in your PJs?
No, I would still put on like, you know, decent clothes.
Oh my God.
Closed-toed shoes, you know, no flip-flops or anything like that.
Button-up shirt, tie.
Sometimes, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
No, just joking.
Okay, so going back then, you were from the Los Angeles County High School for the Arts, and you actually trained in some other areas, but we'll get into that.
Mm-hmm.
But you were in the, what was that again? The theater department?
I was in the theater department, yes. Back when I started, my brother went there before me. And so that's how I found out about it. And when I started, that's when they still just, I think for all of us, it's still just 3-year institution.
Yes, 10, 11, 12.
Yeah, now these
No freshmen, just
damn
yet.
kids got 4 years and they get to do dream projects. I'm glad. I'm very, very glad for them. I'm very happy that they get that.
I know. I'm so happy for you. But, okay, so do you remember like what your first kind of like interaction, like your introduction, I should say, to the school was, like your audition?
Oh, yeah. I remember it completely. So my brother and his girlfriend, they had just graduated and they're both in the theater department. So they drove me to my audition.
Nice.
And they were like, oh, we hope you get like, they were saying like Mr. Cohn and Miss Silva. They're the really easy ones, the nice ones and blah, blah, blah. So I went back and I told them who I auditioned in front of. And it was Miss Flora Plum and Anthony Sandoval. And they're like, oh, you got the 2 hardest teachers in the whole school. And I was like, really? They seemed really nice. They let me redo one of my monologues after I calmed down and blah, blah, blah. And then I of course, spent the rest of that summer in total panic because I didn't know. It was like, oh, God.
I feel like, first of all, anytime they have you do it again or do something like that, they already see something that they like. You know what I mean? That was something I think early on that I didn't catch on to. I remember auditioning for college and they were like, there's some people at the very end of the day auditioning. They were like, there's some people we haven't made up our mind on. Can we have you stay back? And when they called my name, I was like, what? This auditioned. It was amazing. And then I found out later that was their thing. They just wanted to see if you were
The instant callback. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. Yeah. I remember my brother freaked me out too because he called me. I was away and was like at my mom's house or something. And he called me up and he's like, hey, your letter from LACHSA came.
Just right.
And I was like, oh my God. And he started to say, like, okay, when I didn't get accepted my first time, and I was like freaking out because I was like, oh my God, I didn't get accepted. What the hell do I do? And he was like, then he says like, they sent me a small envelope. You've got this big manila envelope. I'm like, don't scare me like that, man. Come on. And
that would trip me out. Wow. What a brother.
yeah. He really knows how to lead that one.
Yeah. So, I mean, when you went, did you like remember what you had to do or like what you did?
Yeah, I remember it was interesting getting used to the schedule, like the academic schedule. I was like first, second, third on one. I'd still sometimes think about it and like, wait, what did I do on Friday? I don't even know. But
I really can't remember this.
I had French cinema with Madame
cinema.
Figue
Yeah, I had that
Oh.
twice.
and directed with Miss Flora Plum.
Oh
Yes.
yes. Oh my God, I miss those. I miss them. They're great.
Mhm.
Yeah, when we were in theater in first year, we would have there's 4 classes. There's acting, movement, voice and speech, and literature and criticism, which is like the scene study, kind of like history of theater and all of that.
Mhm.
And yeah,
Was that your first time kind of coming to that kind of environment? Like before that, were you in the arts? Were you studying? Were you kind of trying to be an actor? Or was it just like, your
Yeah.
brother that made you go like, you should go here? And
As a matter of
all right.
fact, yeah, when I was in elementary school, I took acting class at the Pasadena Playhouse.
Oh, they had acting classes
They used to
there?
have like a Saturday Saturday class that would end up with a little performance at the end of their session. And
Is that,
yeah.
that where you kind of grew up in this area, Pasadena? That's where we all are at the moment, actually,
yes, in
Pasadena Media
Pasadena.
Studios.
Shout out. Hey.
I grew up right over the bridge in Eagle Rock. That was my spot. And then like I moved around so much. So when I was at LACHSA, I was between Burbank and Monrovia. It's a lot of commuting.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think a lot of us did a lot of
Yeah,
that
I
was the
did
first
2
time I
buses.
realized straight from the beginning when I started going to an arts school, I realized like that it was something they set that mindset in you of like this is something that everybody can do, and people come from far distances to do it, and you should be lucky to do it. And I did feel that way for sure. I don't know if you guys did.
Yeah, I mean I remember they'd send us the carpool list.
Oh, I forgot about the course.
It was like it was so weird. I mean, I don't know if it would fly now, but it was just that whole like 5 pages of everybody there, and you just cold call somebody in your neighborhood like, hey, are you doing a carpool? Blah blah blah.
You know what? See, I always lived so far away that I never. They did send it to me, but nobody lived out in I lived in Irvine for 1 year, and I lived in I can't even remember. Oh yeah, Bloomington the other time, way out there in the sticks.
I had the
Fine.
best carpool. I had Maura, Murphy Bruce, Olga Osipenko, and Saul Leo Goldstein.
Oh man, that's a fun carpool right there.
That sounds like an interesting mix.
Most of our listeners probably would not have any idea what that means, but that
I
was
know.
just like let's just say that was a party cart right there.
Sounds kind of like it was a United Colors of Benetton ad. It's
Yes, very diverse group of
It's
teenagers.
an interesting car ride. It sounded like. Okay, so what did you do for your first audition?
Oh man, my first audition. Yeah, I remember this. I remember I did a monologue from Glengarry Glen Ross.
Everybody's jumping in with the hard stuff.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, well, everybody, there was that kind of cool guy thing of like, oh, like David Mamet, I get to say the F word a whole bunch of times in front of teachers. I did that, and then I also did.
Did you get help from your brother finding it, or were you just
Yeah. He introduced me to it, and he showed me the movie.
Oh man, you're so
Yes.
lucky. I remember having to go through those monologue books. Like back then, we didn't have the
Oh,
internet because
yeah.
we were old. So I had to go. Well, I think we did have the internet, but it wasn't as cool as
No,
it is now.
it was. You can get to the end of the internet in a day.
Yeah, for sure. You were
But-
going there for specific reasons that had nothing to do with what we were trying to do.
You'd have to you'd probably go to the library and get that contemporary men's monologues from
Yes.
1985 or something.
Sam French. You used to have 2 Sam French. You remember the Sam French bookstore?
Oh, yeah.
Wow. I missed that store. That store used to make me feel like an actor. I used to walk in there and just feel like,
Yeah, you walked in there and
Sunset.
people were like, he's one of us.
I know. It was also like a coffee shop, vibe times 10 with the people that think they're writers and things like that in there. Like there were people
Oh, yeah.
that were doing monologues in the corner, I feel like. But
Yeah, I couldn't go all the time because I was like, oh, it's too pretentious here for me. I got to go.
anyway, sorry to go back. So you did your, do you remember anything crazy about it or anything like
Well, I remember that. I forget what the first one I did was, but it was more of a comedy. And then I was all right with it. And then I did Glengarry and I nailed it. And I remember after that, Mr. Sandoval said, you seem a lot, more comfortable now. Would you want to try to do that first one again? I was like, oh, yeah, I would. Although now I'm thinking about how hilarious it would have been if I was like, I'm good.
Hey everyone, quick reminder, with everything going on right now, supporting the arts matters more than ever. And that's exactly what LACHSA is all about. May 30th at the Greek Theater, it is happening. We're raising funds for the Los Angeles County High School for the Arts, one of the most elite and inspiring arts programs for young talent in the country. With your ticket, you're getting nonstop energy performances from students across all departments, showing just how next level this program really is. And we've got incredible LACHSA alumni who've been on our podcast and are hitting the stage live. Uli Bea, 2-time Grammy-winning founder, member of Ozomatli, Gretchen Parlato, 3-time Grammy-nominated jazz vocalist, and April Showers, founder of Afro Unicorn, a multi-million-dollar brand built on representation, empowerment, and impact. Plus, surprise celebrity guests still to be announced. So don't wait. Get your tickets now on Ticketmaster, lock in your spot, and check out their podcast episodes too. This is LACHSA. Don't miss it.
Anyway, back to your art education. So do you feel like there were any kind of projects or roles when you were in school that sort of like changed you?
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah. I mean, I think for me, I really had to wait till my senior year for it because a lot of like the scenes or the plays that I was in, it was kind of comedic. I was always kind of the aw shucks guy, or like, I look like the friendly, nice dude, and that's usually what I played. And then, in my senior year, I do remember for like our final scene study class with Mr. Cohn, I got Angels in America. I got to play Roy Cohn in a scene from it, and I always remember this. He paired me with Janice. Was it Janice Scott? Janice Scott. Yeah, she was. She had like sang in her church, and like I think she lived in like South Central or Compton or something like that, and it was great because Cohen's like first lesson to me was like, get the last word on her, which is an impossibility. And she didn't even like raise her voice, and she like broke me down to like a screaming, yelling mess. And I don't know, something about that connection was just so perfect that we just nailed it, and we knew how to work off of each other. And she's probably my favorite scene partner I've had. That was really, really great. That was the one that kind of, I always think back. It's like, oh man, that time was great.
I don't feel like I'm trying to remember if I had any moments like that in high school, or if it wasn't until later. I know, I guess I did. Gosh, I don't remember them as clearly as that. That's pretty awesome that you do.
I've got a very weird memory for stuff like that. Like I won't remember where my keys are. I don't even know where my cell phone is right now, and I'm pretty sure it's in my pocket. But I will remember like what I was wearing in that scene. So
yeah. What about any teachers? Any teachers that really affected you?
Yes. Yeah. First one going off, I would say Miss Plum, Flora Plum. I had her directing class first off, and that was great. And I was in 2 of her plays. I was in You Can't Take It With You, and I was in Romeo and Juliet, and that was a hell of a production. Oh my God, it's so great. I also really liked her because she was, she would yell, she would, not hold back, and she'd get mad at people. But I was always kind of on her good side because I knew how she worked. And so I was like, yeah, what she said, guys.
I got to see her. I never got to see or really speak to her when back in the day at the LACHSA days, but about maybe 10, 15 years after school, I went up to Greystone Manor. I don't know if you guys know.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
It's over there by like on Doheny and like Beverly Hills. It's got some really great history.
It's the Big Lebowski house.
Yeah. Oh, is it?
That's where the Big Lebowski lives.
Oh, that's so like, yeah. I was doing a show at that time. I think it was Charlotte's Web. And one of the guys in the cast was in this. He was like, you should come and see this. We do this play inside of the mansion, retelling the history of it. And wouldn't you know, but there was Miss Plum. She was like one of the characters in it that walked out. And I was like, oh my gosh, I know that lady. She was amazing. Shout out to Miss Plum. You were awesome. It was a good show. It was a really neat thing to do. I love that kind of, sort of Brechtian sort of right in your face theater. But
yeah, she was fantastic. And Mr. Norman Cohn, of course, he was great. And I love that he was a real shit talker too. Like really, can I say the S word?
You can say whatever you want.
All right. He was a real heck talker.
Heck talker.
Yeah, no, he was great, and he knew how to challenge, and he definitely had some old school traits to him, but he knew how to get the right performance out of us, and he was a great person to hang out with.
Yeah, like when you look back at your time there at LACHSA, I mean, like what would you say to someone who thinks that arts programs basically aren't like worth it? Like did you feel like it was worth it to you? Like that it made a huge difference in your life?
Definitely. I mean, I think about like the other high schools that I went to, and there was really just education, just the basic, math and English and history and all of that. And I was a good student for that, but I don't know if I really would have pursued anything out afterwards from high school if I hadn't had something like an arts education, because there was just so much more to it. It made me feel like I was home. It made me feel like this is the place I was supposed to be, and I was around people I respected and respected me, and it was something that I continued to seek out in my adult life. And after, many years, started to find actual happiness in the arts somewhere. And also the acceptance that, an arts career is something that's kind of almost an oxymoron, I guess.
Yeah.
For most people.
I do look back and think that things like that carpool list and the other things that we'd kind of supply for us. I know they've gotten better now. There was you could get like those free. I don't want to say they were free grants, but they were like you could get stipends to travel and get your Metrolink card and things like that. Like I just feel like that kind of access to like quality arts education was super important for us at that time, because I remember my mom being like, sure, you can go. And if you asked her now, she'd be like, I never thought you were going to go because I didn't think you'd make it. She was like, I made the worst mistake by telling you, yeah, figure it out and you can go. And of course I sat down and figured it out.
Yeah.
I was like, I can take the train. You just have to. And I remember having to get to the train at like 6 a.m. or something, like 4 or 5, something like
Oh
that.
my God. Yeah. Like we didn't sleep back then. I remember like I would fall asleep like around maybe like 1 and I have to wake up at like 5:30. I'm like, all right, I'm good. I'll have a a soda on my way to
Yeah, there was
class.
for sure dedication that you had to have, but if you had it, a regular high school wasn't the right outlet.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It actually, like, I think that's the other thing is that with that school, we had to work so much harder because it wasn't just, we can walk to school or anything like that. You had to figure out.
Commute.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
like transport or carpool or walk or I don't know,
Yeah. And you're like,
hitchhike.
you're like commuting with adults too. And, yeah, it made it so much challenging, so much more challenging to go to school, and that just made everything worth it a whole lot more. And of course, it also made the adventures in ditching a lot more fun too. That's just face it, that was
A
awesome.
lot of
Ditching.
Because I mean, like,
that.
also you ditched from school and you weren't in your neighborhood, so nobody could
But
really
truthfully,
catch
I don't
you.
remember doing a lot of it because I really did enjoy school, which is kind of sad. I don't know if I should say it's sad. It's not sad. It's very cool.
Yes, no, it's great. I kind of loosened up in my senior year, second semester, and I was like, all right, now we can have some fun. Now I'm going to be able to walk across for graduation. I'm not going to get busted. Stop smoking on campus or anything like that.
I mean, do you feel like because I mean, nowadays we look back and we have a lot of people that we went to school with that are pretty successful,
Mhm.
well known, and things like that. Is that ever something that trips you out, or is that just like another side effect of growing up in LA?
Wow, that's another great question. I think it does trip me out every now and then, especially at first. I remember the first kind of brush we had was I went to school with one of my classmates was Marla Sokoloff, and she actually had to leave because she got cast on a sitcom. Like, oh damn! And then she was like seeing her in movies and such. I was like, all right, that's wow. I kind of want to be like, hey, I went to school with her. Like,
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah, I know,
cool
right?
too.
Marla, I've been reaching out to you. My people have tried to reach your people. Come on the podcast, talk to us. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
We had Sing for Actors together, Marla. Remember that?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was very nice. I bummed a ride with her every now and then, and she was cool with me.
On Party of Five, and we thought she was the coolest thing.
Oh,
at that time,
yeah.
to go to school with somebody on Party of Five. I was
Yeah.
like,
And Full House.
and Full House, right?
Mhm,
She
mhm.
would like. I mean, she was super cool.
Yeah. But I think as I've gotten older, it's kind of been like, and also staying in the arts industry, even if it's not like a big name kind of a role that I'm in, just seeing other people that I know who are making it, I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Especially like when I see like, oh, all these musicians playing all these different albums or something like that, I'm like, oh yeah, that totally tracks. I can see that.
Mhm.
Yeah, we were talking about that on our last episode because I just think that it was something for me that had to change going from a performer and we'll talk more about that too, shifting out of the performing era. But like when I finally did shift out, I was able to actually be genuinely really happy for people. And that was awesome to actually be able to be like, oh my gosh, they got this job. That's so cool. I know them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's no denying that. Like being in an art school, there's a little bit of, I don't know if envy is the right word, but there is always kind of like there's a little tiny bit of the why not me, no matter what, even if it's just like you got the second lead instead of the main lead, it's just that there's always something like that. And then kind of growing up and seeing it's continuing going on and seeing other people doing so well and just kind of getting to a point where like, well, good for them. I'm glad they're they really earned this. And
Do you, like when you look back, I don't know if you've been back to LACHSA or any of your other kind of trainings, because besides LACHSA, you've moved on too. Like you went to another school, right? For special effects makeup?
Yes, yeah. I was kind of floundering, doing nothing like I really wanted to do. I was working in like the boring parts of TV. Yeah, I went back to the makeup designery in Burbank, the makeup school. I went for the effects program mainly. Yeah, since then I've been lucky to work on some good films, a lot of short films with the American Film Institute, and another movie. I'm just waiting for it to come out, man. It was so crazy. It was like the first movie I worked on, and I'm like, wow, there's Martin Sheen, there's John Lovitz. It was like a
Wow,
stack.
big.
And
That's
I was
awesome.
like, this is cool. Can we have it? That was like almost 3 years ago, though. So I'm like dying for it to finally get a release.
Gosh, I wouldn't know. Like that's just so weird. It's when I still don't kind of have a lot of experience with that sort of it, where like you do something and years later it comes out. That would just be so weird for me.
Yeah. I think it's also weird when like meeting people that you know from movies and TV shows, and they're just introducing themselves like
Normal, like, hey, I'm Christian Slater. Like, I'm Mr. Robot with me. Like, I was like
Exactly.
standing in. I was like, hi, I know who you are, sir, in my head. But I was like, thanks.
right.
It's so nice of you.
Martin Sheen was on this movie, and he comes up and he's like, "Hi, I'm Martin," and I just want to be like, "Yeah, I know."
Right. You know what though? I like a celebrity that is, humble in that kind of way. Like I did remember, but like I worked on an episode of Phil of the Future years ago, and Ben Savage was not Ben. Sorry, Ben. Not that you're not cool. I did work together with Ben on something else, but it was Fred Savage. Sorry,
Ah.
The other
It's
brother.
Fred Savage, the other Savage. I remember he walked over and we started talking. Was like, "Hi, my name's Fred," and I'm just like, "Girl, I know who you are."
I believe it's Kevin, isn't it?
Yeah. Sorry, I thought your name was Kevin. But yeah, that's pretty awesome. What was that school experience like? The same sort of as?
No, it was, I thought like when going into it, was like, oh, it might be like, an evening or a weekend thing. It's like, no, it was a Monday through Friday, 8 to 4 kind of thing. So I was like getting back into that. That was wild. And
I don't think people really realize that
Yeah.
like, when you go to an art, I think maybe they think about it like they think about actors today or performers in general, that it's an easy job, but it's like when you actually go to study it and if you take it seriously, it's intense.
Super intense.
Yeah. So this was, luckily it was happening like right after a job finished. So I was like, got to collect the unemployment, which was nice. I didn't have to, get a night job or anything like that. But it was, I mean, for me, it was really difficult because, I'm usually the only male in any of those classes. And so it's like when they're describing like how to put on this makeup, you have to start with like the glamour stuff, and they're describing certain things. And the teacher had to be like, okay, Dan, it's that brush, it's that thing, it's like we're gonna learn about geometry, but first, Dan, we got to teach what a number is. It's that kind of a thing. But it was great. It was really, really wonderful. And
So, I mean, just to clarify for listeners, then that's what your career is now,
Yes.
special effect. But
that is correct. Special makeup effects artist. For film and TV and events. Mainly, I do a lot of gore, a lot of slashery kind of thing.
yeah, you kind of do veer towards the horror stuff, right?
Yeah.
He's got some you guys should check out his stuff. Like, it's really good.
I've done a lot of slime in the last year, and
Slime and blood.
and
Fun.
yeah, and I can still do a pretty good lipstick application, and
Same.
yeah.
I'm just joking. But no, okay. So, that's pretty. Like, was there a point that you kind of like made the switch? Did you still act now, or what? Like, what was that impetus? What happened?
Oh,
Shift happened?
from the performance, huh? That's a good one.
I likes to ask the good questions.
Yeah, these are really good. I mean, it's not just like, hey, do you remember this guy from school? It was like
Right,
so many
Oprah
other
ate your
people.
heart out.
Yeah, it was interesting because I remember really, really loving acting when I was in high school, and then when I got out of high school, I did an independent production. I was at the Hudson Theater. Right? It was an original play, and I think it was kind of after that I was sort of just not really feeling it. Like being in LA, I really wanted to do theater, and I was like, theater in LA, and like 1999, 2000, it was kind of not happening. It was just
I remember that.
yeah, and I just kind of felt like everything I went into was just people hoping that there was an agent in the audience. Like they didn't really give a damn about what we were really doing, and it just kind of started to sour for me. And
I felt
Yeah.
like people back then were kind of like, theater. Ugh.
yeah,
Like, it was like, how dare you study theater?
right. It's like theater. No, we do commercials.
Yeah, we do commercial acting.
You're in LA,
here.
Hollywood, not
know,
Broadway, New York.
I don't know if you guys remember this either, but I remember going to he was a really great teacher. I wonder if he's still teaching, but it was in Hollywood and it was a commercial acting class and it was just gimmicks. you know, he wasn't trying to hide that, but he was like, it's a lot of gimmicks and tricks for like a commercial audition that really had almost nothing to do, I felt like, with acting. It was like, you know, making sure that you were facing the right direction and making sure that you were doing this and reading the oh gosh, I can't even remember what they're called now. God,
Cue cards?
no, there's always
Teleprompters?
It's now becoming a game of charades right now.
No, you show up at an audition. Our listeners can help me out. This will show you how long I've been out of the game. And there's like the storyboard up, and it gives you like a printout of, you know, like how long the commercial is and what the aim and who the company is. And it was teaching you how to read this kind of spec about what was happening and to go in there and be like, this is what they're looking for, and think of a Ross commercial and what kind of things that they do in a Ross, you know what I mean? And not to mention companies, but
Right.
Sponsor us, please. Thanks.
yeah, but like, you know, just what you were, it was just all not for me. It really took me out of acting. It made me sad. It was just like, oh, I wanted to be an actor, and this is like how to get a car commercial by closing the door correctly.
Yeah, and that's really, I think, what we had at LACHSA was we kind of got spoiled. Like we were like, I was like, at my old high school, oh, what play are you guys doing? It's like, oh, you're doing like Peter Pan? Oh, well, I'm doing the Greek tragedies, you know, we're doing the Flies or something like that. And I was just like, how do you not get full of yourself with something like that? And then to come out to a world where it's just like, all right, now we're going to do a commercial for Geico or something like that.
Yeah.
Another product, if we can get it. Yeah, it was just, it was difficult. And since then, like I've done little bits here and there. Like I tried to do improv for a little bit, or I'd like appear in a friend's like short film or something like that. But yeah, other than something like that, it was pretty much my early 20s when I was just like, I'm not feeling this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I started to lead more towards writing. Had a similar thing with writing a while later, which is kind of like, you know, this is just not really what I'm feeling.
I hate to say it, but I feel like there was a time where I was like, oh, I'm going to be a starving, struggling artist, and I don't care. I'm going to do it. That's going to show everybody. That's me paying my dues. And then I stopped being I don't want to say funded by my parents, but you move out of your parents' house and you're out of a college and structured environment or something that's kind of helping you stay together. And when you're completely independent, it is kind of funny how quickly it starts to change to, I don't want to be starving anymore.
Yeah. Like how many more times can I like go out with friends to eat and be like, oh, you know, I ate before. I'm good. I'll just water is fine. You know, something like that.
Oh, I forgot my wallet at home, which I can't say that because I actually do always forget my wallet at home for my friends that are listening that are like, that's why. No, I have ADHD. It's a thing. Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, do you think that if you hadn't got, like if there hadn't been like the right funding for those programs and stuff going like to school growing up and things like that, because I know it's a different kind of, you know, payment structure when you're in college or doing a kind of trade school or post like graduate work, but like when you're in school, that's kind of an amazing thing that you get because it's paid for by, like, a lot of my friends were like, that wasn't a private school, and I was like, no, like I was
totally public. You just had to audition and get there somehow.
Got to be worth the those public dollars, you know.
And I mean, we were auditioning at like, you know, 15, 16, so it's not like we were amazing. You know what I mean? Like, I definitely look back up my audition and I'm like, ooh, you could ride a wave on that vibrato. You know what I mean? Like, I was not the greatest, but, you know, they saw something, or they saw the appreciation and the dedication. And like, I don't think that it's all necessarily about being a performer or the world's greatest performer, because there are a lot of amazing writers, creators, producers, directors, you know, musicians and other things, that songwriters that are just like all waiting to kind of make their way into that field once they get exposed to it.
Yeah, definitely. It's also kind of the idea of, can this person learn? Can this person grow? What will this person be like? And after 3 years, back to working in makeup, I actually applied for and got a mentorship a couple years back. And, you know, I looked at my stuff compared to other people and I was like, yeah, my stuff is nowhere near as good as theirs, blah, blah, blah. But it was the idea that the mentor could see what I had going and what my passion was. And it was like, okay, well, this guy is somebody I can lead into the direction that he needs to be in.
Well, would you think you would have gotten into that field if it hadn't been for LACHSA?
Probably, because I know I grew up as a movie nerd. I mean, my dad had a Laserdisc player, not VHS. We're the only people in all of our city that had a Laserdisc player. So we had the nerdiness thing. I literally grew up across the street from a comic book shop. So I had all that going on. When I was, even in 6th grade, 5th grade, I was already messing around with makeup effects and wanted to do that. I think, yeah, I probably would have stuck with that but I don't know how smooth the transition it would have been, or if I had actually gone on to it. I might have just like, stayed in my hometown, kind of found something else that was easy to go. Cause I didn't really have a whole lot of other people who were on that same level as me.
Yeah.
And I think
maybe that experience exposed you to more and made you develop a deeper appreciation.
Yes. And I think that's like the best thing about all schools. Like even as I'm paying off the endless student loan bills for my brief time at my makeup school, I realized just the connections and the people that I met and like having other people with that passion keeps me afloat and keeps me going. And if I didn't have that, if it was just me messing around with fake blood in my bedroom or reading a monologue on my own, don't think it would have gone for it.
Yeah, community is important. I mean, we are now in our somethings decades, but we've known each other for more than our, when we first met each other. Like, that's incredible.
Yeah.
There's so many people that have lost touch and moved away and, kind of ebbed and flowed in and out of the arts, but somehow we kind of still connect because of the education that we got and all the people that we met and the teachers that influenced us and mentored us to this day, like Mr. Friedman, who's going to be here a little bit later. But
yeah, and it's also one of those things where like I got the text from you, and it's like, okay, well, I'll be there.
Yeah.
Would you come out at 1
Yay.
p.m. on a Friday to Pasadena? Yeah, I'm there.
That's why you're awesome.
love
But,
you, Dave.
I mean, it's true. Like, yeah, it's just a different.
I think that's another thing. Another part of being an artist is that there is a lot of flakiness. I've definitely worked to fight that, and
Yeah. Well, I mean, do you think that there was something, what would you say that was your brother then? That like was the person that kind of, made that like sort of change in you that made you think like, oh, like this is what you should do? Or what else? Like, what was that first thing? Do you remember that made you decide that you wanted to get into this industry or get into it?
That's a good one to think about. I think, yeah, a lot of it was my brother, like definitely watching a lot of movies when we were growing up. We weren't really watching like the animated movies, like kids these days, like, they watch like Frozen or Paw Patrol or something like that. And we were watching like Star Wars and Blade Runner and stuff like that.
But like seeing him go to like school and stuff like that for it, was that like something?
Yeah, definitely. Or like seeing him getting into film when we were younger and like, borrowing a screenplay from him and seeing how it was written and what that looks like, or borrowing his plays. Yeah, I would say definitely for following him into, like, I wouldn't have gone to Pasadena Playhouse if he hadn't gone. I wouldn't have gone to LACHSA if he hadn't gone. I wouldn't have even known about it. So I definitely have a lot to thank for him. But as far as the makeup effects, though, that was all me. That was me stumbling on the making of the music video Thriller and just seeing all of like Rick Baker doing the behind the scenes stuff and just being like, I need to know how to do that. I need to know how to do that.
That's something that even I can think back on and be like, wow, that was so cool.
Yeah, and it's still cool. And it was like, even especially that was done like 30 years ago.
Child of the 80s and 90s. That was not that we are. I'm just
right. Mysterious.
So, like, do you feel like there in your current career now, there are things that you brought with you from your training at LACHSA or training when you were younger?
Yes, definitely. I mean, definitely the professionalism, because you kind of got to realize that not everybody has the experience that you have or the background. And so sometimes you might be working with somebody who is literally just barely old enough to drink legally in this state. So sometimes they might not have quite the same amount of professionalism or anything like that. And so if you're on a set and you see somebody who's not holding it together, being aware of them, catching them, kind of giving them the education that you need really quickly and just telling them how to be professional. That's the big part. Yeah, and also just really having the respect for it, knowing that it's not just entirely a stepping stone, but it's like something that really managed you. It's your life. It's the only thing you want to do. That's kind of what it comes down to. Yeah.
Hey everyone, thanks so much for tuning into Drama School Diaries. Listen, can I ask you for a super huge favor? We would love for you to like and subscribe wherever you listen, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or really anywhere else. And be sure to follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Drama School Diaries for all the latest updates, sneak peeks, and news. We've got a lot of exciting things in the works, and we really cannot wait to share them, so stay tuned. So then, if you had unlimited funding for the arts, like what would be the first thing you would change or add?
For just the arts in general?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well,
it could be specific if it's something specific to what you want to talk about.
I mean, I think I would just I would want it to grow. I'd want it to be more than just sort of an elective. I love the fact that
That's
LACHSA.
true. I love that. Yeah.
I love how much LACHSA has changed, where like the film class was an elective and now it's its own department, and they have the amazing equipment for there. I love the fact that they do plays outside of the school, that they're actually renting out different big theaters. I really like that. I like that it's advertised. You can see it when you drive around the neighborhood too. Sometimes I would love that for more schools. I would love that for the arts to be respected as much as your basic curriculum, and not just be kind of like that little side thing you do on the weekends or something like that.
Yeah.
That's a big question, so I hope that wasn't a good enough answer for you just pulling it out of nowhere.
Oh yeah, no, sorry, I'm hitting you with some some random ones. But yeah, I mean, well, first of all, I'm really thankful that we're starting to get close to the end of our time, but not.
Aw.
We've got some time for some more few things. I want to do one thing with you too before we go, but yeah, I just like coming up on how you're going through your life and your career now. I just feel like was there any kind of major changes or anything like that I have no idea what
Is it one of those questions like what led me down to say like, all right, screw it, this is it, I have to do this entirely now in my adult life?
Yeah, I think it's just, were you happy with that change that you've made?
Very, very much so. I was I had kind of was always working at like production companies and just sort of moving up and not really doing anything, always being like one day something will happen. And then I was in unscripted television. I was in post-production for unscripted television, and I couldn't do it. I was like trying to learn how to do other things to like secure my job or move up, and my brain just was like, no, we're not doing this. And after a really, really bad experience, I was just kind of like, I need to do something different. And I was with my friend, another LACHSA alum, Sam Sobilski.
Oh, see,
And he's doing the acting thing really well. And so he had a friend who was making a zombie film called Witness Infection. And he asked me if I wanted to be an extra in it. And so I was like, yeah, why the hell not? And I was in there in the makeup, working around as a zombie, yelling and screaming and spitting blood and all that stuff. And I was just sort of like,
I love this.
what is this? Is it performance? Is it acting? Is it filmmaking? Is it? And I just felt like all the makeup on my face. I'm like, oh my God, this is what I want to do. It was just like a lightning bolt. And then like a week later, I was touring the school and then already putting together, like I could barely even put together a plan for dinner. And now here I was putting together a plan for going to school in like 6 months of my job.
How did you find the school?
I'd driven by it in Burbank. It was close to where I was. I'd heard other people talking about it, and I looked it up, and there's in LA, there's MUD, and then there's Cinema Film School, which is also, but that's honestly, I went to MUD because I was like, oh, well, this is closer to me. That was the main reason. And yeah, I just kind of have not looked back.
Nice.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I hope I don't have to. I really hope that that I don't have to go back to.
And that's kind of what your projects are now, just working on television, film.
Yes.
Yeah.
And events.
And doing like, do you just do like special effects, or do you also kind of just do like the makeup and things like that?
I kind of do just sort of everything that I can. I've done a lot of, just no makeup, men's grooming. I'm getting back into doing beauty makeup, prosthetics. But yeah, my big jam is like the slashery effects, Tom Savini was one of my heroes growing up. And so his stuff like Dawn of the Dead, Friday the 13th, that kind of stuff is what I've always really, really wanted to do. But anything I can do to be in the makeup trailer is the most important thing, or the shot.
Is there anything from your time at Arts High School that just kind of lingers, some like a memory that you can't like get out of your head?
Kind of, yeah. Like I remember when I seen my brother in his plays, and just like at the State Playhouse, the big one there, and you'd see like the actors coming down that walkway after the play, and they'd get like the applause with the flowers and all that, and I was like, I want that, and like it didn't happen my first year, wasn't happening. I was like, oh God, what's going on? And then finally, it's the last play. It was Romeo and Juliet, Miss Plum's Romeo and Juliet, and I was with Friar Lawrence, and I remember it was like our Saturday performance. I was like, this is it. If it's not this, it's not going to happen on the matinee on Sunday. It was seriously in my head, and I'm like 2 steps down the hallway, and I already see people like applauding and hooting and hollering and getting like congratulated by people I'd never even met before.
Nice.
And I was like, that was like my Friday Night Lights moment. That was the touchdown right there. So that's when I kind of go back to, when if I'm having a bad day, I'm just like, oh, remember that day?
Your face just totally glow up like when you were telling that story.
I can go right back into that. It's like, oh, we'll see it like third person, like it's a movie too.
Yeah, you just lit up. It was really awesome. Well, okay. So before we go, I want to play this little game with you that we've been we've been rehashing and sort of creating. It's originally like a Bernard Pivot thing. He started it a long time ago, and then James Lipton over at Inside the Actors Studio did a version of it. And so we're going to kind of try to, as an homage, keep it going because I kind of love it. And I just thought it's a fun way to kind of close out the show. But it's sort of like rapid fire, just think of it as like a Rorschach test, just like the first thing that comes to your mind. You don't have to spend a lot of time trying to. Yeah?
Sounds great.
All right, Daniel, what's your favorite word?
My favorite word, dude.
Where's my car? Marla Sokoloff. Here we go again.
Yeah.
What's your least favorite word?
Cancer.
What turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
Turns me on creatively. I would say, something that's on the same level as me, especially when it comes to something just original and unique and different, and so that makes me think.
Nice.
I would say the same with emotionally and spiritually, something that just kind of speaks to me and kind of shakes me out of my normal foundation.
What turns you off?
Oh man, so many things. Lately it's been doom scrolling, and I don't know why I keep doing it, but yeah, just kind of everything in the world that's going on right now kind of turns me off.
All right, Dan, what's your favorite curse word?
Curse word? Ooh, gotta be fuck. I mean, fuck. Standard, you can put it in anything.
What's a sound or noise you love?
What's a sound or noise that I love? I'm gonna actually say like quiet, gentle ocean, like especially kind of like in the winter when it's just dead on a beach and just like little tiny little bit, almost like the beginning of a movie.
What's a sound or noise you hate?
Oh man, pretty much anything my neighbors do. No, there's somebody in my neighborhood who has like one of those loud ass farting kind of Fast and Furious cars that sets off all the car alarms. That.
Oh yeah, now I'm with you.
I always wonder how people like that like date. How do you get into the guy's car and try to have a conversation? It's like you come on, your ears are bleeding. That's wonderful.
What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
I would love to do something in the sciences, actually. Geology, especially. Geology or biology were the careers that I was actually kind of considering.
I would not have known.
What
profession would you not like to do?
Post-production for unscripted television.
I feel like that might have been a little bit of an inside joke. At the end of your journey, if your life was a performance, what would you want the review to say?
That's a wow. Man, that's a good one.
Don't worry, I'm just going to cut all this together.
I'd be like, hey, take a bow, kid.
I like that.
Take a bow, kid.
Yeah.
Well, I think you should definitely take a bow because we're coming to the end of our time. But I really appreciate you stopping by and talking to us.
I appreciate you having me on. Thank you. I really, really like this. This is a wonderful little program where it's not just dishing and dreaming about the old days. So that's, but just enough to make it,
Yeah. I mean, diaries, but that also how our arts education kind of bonded us and continued to be a part of our present time. And
if anybody wants to check out any more of your like stuff or anything like that, where can they find you?
I'm on Instagram at Daniel Sukara _MUA. There you can look me up on the internet. There have been a couple interviews with LA. Things I can't remember the names off the top of my head.
We're just looking at it right now. I want to say Voyage, but
Voyage, Voyage LA. That was one.
Voyage LA, yeah. And you can always check him out on his OnlyFans.
It's just me doing desserts, though. It's called OnlyFlans.
Yes, I love me good flan.
Oh my gosh, you guys! I'm so hungry for Mexican food right now.
That's a good call.
Okay, so I'm just gonna read this to you guys. Thanks for listening to Drama School Diaries. If you enjoyed today's episode, please like, subscribe, and share. It helps us reach more people and continue the conversation about why arts education matters. For more resources and to learn more about how you can support arts programs in your community, check out the links in our show notes. Until next time, class dismissed.
That was a blast. I love that.